Okay, so as you see before you is a anti-meta deck, if you didn't already know by the look of it, and there really isn't much else to say. For right now, it's probably the best it can be, and it really isn't much to say about it because, well, it's just supposed to compete against the meta for right now, and the meta right now is obviously Adamantipator, Eldritch, and Dinos. And there really isn't much to say about it. Let's just get right into it. So first off, running 1 Pinkertops. This card is sadly limited to 1. There was no reason why it should have been limited because, well, I mean, it's a Cyber Dragon and a free pop, but it's only a pop of a monster. Well, no, it's a free pop of a card, but I mean, it didn't cause much problems because there's a lot of cards in the game right now that have destruction effects. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter that badly. But, yeah, I don't get why it's limited to 1. But to take for its place is Double Phantasme. This card's really good for right now, especially with Needle Fiber plays, because pretty much every deck right now is almost certainly running Needle Fiber, except some decks like this, or some decks that run nothing. But, I mean, Needle Fiber is just a free special summon, really. So, yeah, and this card's just a free draw. So, yeah, it's a good card. I probably would not cut this card for anything. It's just good in the current meta right now. 3 Patchy Pillows, Fossil Dyna. This card's really good because it's a free destruction on flip, and either player can special summon monsters, so it's pretty much an upgraded Vanity's Fiend, but I mean, it has less attack, but it's pretty great. 3 Raging Flame Sprites. This card is for Mystic Mind Stall, making, like, this card can make it, like, 41,000, which, not 41,000, 4,100, which makes it pretty fun. I just keep it in there because it's just another win condition. 3 Eater of Millions to make your opponent mad and banish everything that they have. 3 Extravagance because you really never use your extra deck. 1 Terraforming. This card's self-explanatory. You're running 6 Field Spells in the deck, so there's no reason not to. I probably would. I might run Set Rotation, but I really didn't like it when I did run it in there. And I mean, you're giving your opponent a stall card, but I mean, it doesn't help for them, but it doesn't help for you either. So I mean, I didn't really like it in there. 1 Final Countdown. It's pretty good because, well, it's another stall, and I mean, when you have Mystic Mind, it's a free win. 3 Cosmic Cyclones for back row removal. Self-explanatory as well. So probably the best back row removal right now, other than Twin Twisters. 3 Super Polymerization. This card's super good in this kind of deck because, well, basically super polying your opponent's monsters, and I basically have every super poly target for right now. It's pretty fun, and that you don't use your cards a lot. Well, I mean, you do, but, like, there's some cards that aren't for the right time, so, I mean, discarding is really no big deal. 3 Wave Motion Cannons, just another win condition. 3 Necro Valleys for no graveyard effects. This card's really fun, especially against Summon Greats, and basically they can't do anything. 3 Mystic Mine, obviously, it's one of these decks. It has to be in there, especially for a stall kind of deck, and it's just a really great card overall. I kind of wish this card got banned, but I was like, well, if you can't win something, you have to use it. So, I mean, just use it. Like, if you hate something, use it. If it's making you hate it so bad, use it. And, well, I'm using it in one of these decks. So, 3 Storming Mirror Force. Nobody expects this card, and especially in this deck. It's kind of funny because it's a free destruction, and it's a big stall kind of card if you don't get anything good. 3 Evenly Matched. Self-explanatory. It's free banish, really. 3 Sensor Differentiation, or there can only be 1. This card's really fun. Basically, if you put this in Anti-Spill Fragrance out there on the field, and Necro Valley, it's like playing in 2002 Goats. They either T-set or they normal summon and attack with, like, a 1300 monster. It's a really fun kind of deal that we have. And like I said, Anti-Spill Fragrance, it's one of the most broken cards right now. Onto the extra deck, running 1 Trivofuturium. It's just the generic super poly target, 3 Dark Monsters. 1 Draco Necro Nether Soul Zombie. This card, basically, for any zombie deck, base deck, especially like Eldritch right now, It's really good in there. One Violet Chimera. This Salamangreats are still kind of floating around. They're tier 2 right now, in my opinion, and they're the most consistent deck, probably ever that Konami released. So it's a really good card in there. 2 Starving Venom Fusion Dragons. This card's really good. It's probably the most generic Super Poly target other than Dracostapelia. Well, and yeah, it's good in there. 1 Dracostapelia because it's probably the most, so it's probably the second generic, like I said, and it has staple in its name, so any deck that runs Super Poly has to run this card. 1 The Last Warrior from Another Planet for your sighting Waking Dragon, so I mean, it's really good in there. 1 Sea Monster of Theseus. You might be questioning why I run this card in there, and because it's a tuner and it should be instant fusion target. I use it because, for 1, Adamantimators like to get both their tuners out there, 2 or 3 of them, so if you if you drop this card on them, they can't really do anything. I mean, they could, but I mean, it kind of slows them down quite a lot. 1 Diplexer Chimera. This card is generic because it's a Cybers, just 2 Cybers, and like if you use Salamangreat stuff in there. And 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This is probably the 3rd most generic Super Poly target because it's just 2 monsters with the same attribute but different names. It's really good. On to the not fusions, XZs. 1 Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon for Waking Dragon. 1 Utopia, 1 Utopia Lightning. You have a lot of level 4s in this deck. Oh, well, only a 3, but I mean, it's just in there because of that reason. A Booyagoo and a Abyss Dweller for that reason as well. In your side deck, 3 Inspector Borders for also those level plays that I forgot about. I put this in there. This card's really good. Another Mud Dragon, just because it sides out for the Starving Venom or the Diplexer, or anything really. A Draco Berserker for Waking Dragon targets. I like it personally where it's at right now, but you know, 1 Dingirsu, the Orcus of the Evening Star. With this card, I mean, it's really good against Orcus since Orcus are coming back out, but I mean, they aren't that bad right now. 3 Dark Ruler No Mars is probably the most, this is probably one of the best spell cards ever, especially for right now, and I run it in the side deck because I would probably side it out for like a Wave Motion Cannon or Storm Mirror Force because, well, it lets you do other plays. But I mean, it doesn't really come up often because usually you don't have a lot of things to get through. It's just to get through if like they have something that's going to cause a lot of problems. 3 Waking the Dragon, just generic, and 3 Quaking Mirror Force to end off for the deck. This card, I don't main it. A lot of people probably would, but I don't main it because of Link monsters and they can't be changed to face down defense position. But yeah, that's really it. If I had an extra slot to put any card in, other than like what's in my side deck or anything, I would probably put Called by the Grave, but I mean, it's not the best for right now, but it's not the worst. So yeah, let's just get into a duel. Alrighty. So I open duel, and yeah, let's just wait for someone to join. So the strategy of this deck depends definitely on what kind of like a lot of win conditions. Beforehand, I did not have any win conditions whatsoever for this deck, but mainly it's right now it's Mystic Mind Stall. Alrighty, so we got a decent hand, probably not the best it could be. He activates Soul Absorb. I can't speak. Absorption. Holy moly. Soul Absorption. Okay, so we're going to first off activate Pot of Extravagance. Banish 6 to draw 2. Okay, so he gains 3,000 life points. Fair enough. Fair enough. He can gain even more if I use that. But we're first going to activate Final Countdown. Go into Battle Phase. End of Battle Phase. Activate Evenly Matched. Probably one of the best cards in the meta right now. Hopefully banishes Soul Absorption. If banishes those two, I'm going to be a little kind of upset. Okay, so he banishes Soul Absorption. We're going to special summon the Eater of Millions by using all of the crap in our extra deck. Well, not crap, but useless stuff for right now. We're going to also use Violet Chimera, because I'm pretty sure he is not going to be using Summon Greats with a card like Soul Absorption. Special Summon Face Up Attack. Then we're also going to activate Necro Valley, Normal Summon, Patch Pillow, and pass turn to him. Alrighty, so first off, we're going to set, there can only be one, change Patch Pillow to defense, and set border. And then, there really isn't much else to do. I know I said at the beginning, that first off, Inspector Border was not going to be cited, but I forgot to change that out, which was my mistake. But I only run one Inspector Border anyways, so I'm just gonna let him do his stuff, and, yeah. Engraver Mark is actually a really good card. Yeah, I'm just gonna, just let him do his stuff. Alrighty, so we're going to attack with Border. Kill his Engraver of the Mark, or whatever it is. Then we're going to end the turn. Okay, so we're first going to special summon using Raging Flame Sprite and everything in our action deck. There we go. Special summon Eater of Millions. We're going to go to battle phase. Attack with Eater of Millions. And then we're going to attack with Inspector Border directly. And we are going to pass turn to him. Alrighty, so we T-set. We're going to set, well, whatever he's going to do. DD Dynamite. Ouch. Okay then, so as you see from right here, this deck isn't the best. For right now in the meta, it's not going to be the best, especially with cards like the new Adamantipator stuff that will probably absolutely wreck this deck, because, well, I mean, if you let them go first, it's pretty much game over. Like, I mean, you really can't do anything much about this deck. I did this deck just for fun because I thought it was pretty funny, making your opponent kind of play a little bit old school. Man, I mean, it's just out there. I mean, and it's a pretty good budget deck other than Extravagance, but I mean, you could run Duality too, since you're not going to be special summon any monsters. But I mean, it's not like the best deck ever. And yeah, that's really it for I have to say about this deck. And this kind of variant of his deck that he was playing was actually really, really good. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if you want me to showcase one of your decks, or like deck profile, or like really any kind of deck related thing, please let me know and I will do so. Just leave a comment down below, and yeah, thanks for watching.